Hello everybody, welcome back to High Ground. My name is Tanner, and super quick video. I sort of forgot to do this last night. I was laying in bed like, oh, I forgot to make a prediction video. So let's do this really quickly. By the time you're watching this, you're gonna have less than 90 minutes, probably just a little bit over an hour to get in your predictions. So I assume some people have done so, but if you have not, make sure you do. Yesterday's predictions didn't go super well. I only got one of the three. I was right about Unwanted beating Raza, and then technically I was right about FaZe beating Space Station. I did say that I thought it was the more likely result, that if I was going to vote with my head rather than my heart, I would have gone with FaZe, but of course I voted for Space Station. So if you went the other way like I sort of recommended, you would have got that point. And then BDS versus Furia, I guess I should have gone with my instincts. I was originally thinking BDS, but I ended up switching to Furia, so got that one wrong. Furia's monstrous streak ended. They lost 2-0 to Cyclops, but then they 2-0'd everyone else in their group. They 2-0'd Dark Zero, they 2-0'd Raza, but finally they lose 2-0 to BDS. So they've still yet to go to a third map. I guess they have one more chance to do it here, and then a 5-mapper if they win that one. But in terms of my upcoming predictions, we need to do just 2 of them. You can actually see it here. I don't have a way to clear it out because I already submitted it for the first time in case I didn't end up making this video. So Unwanted up against FaZe. Winner of that will go up against Furia. Winner of that will go up against BDS in the grand final. But of course, the grand final is tomorrow. So FaZe versus Unwanted. This is sort of a rematch from Manchester. Of course, they were Beast Coast at the time, and they had Diffuser and Gunner was the real star of the show. FaZe got 2-0. They got sort of embarrassed. They got eliminated in quarterfinals in a pretty big upset. Yes, Beast Coast had made the really impressive run through North America and then through Swiss to make it into top 8 of that event, but still, most people thought FaZe one of the absolute favorites for the event, and that Unwanted was going to get handled at that point. And of course, we now know that they went on to win that event, beating FaZe, beating Liquid, beating BDS. So I'm going with Unwanted here. Again, I think they're the underdog. FaZe probably the the quote-unquote better pick, but Unwanted, they have been the underdog for the entire tournament. They were fine in their group, and then they've been pretty good in bracket. But I will say they got the 2-0 over W7M, which is nice, but then W7M got eliminated right away, so it makes it a little bit less impressive. Like, obviously, W7M just were, I mean, either not up to snuff this event, or, they got the curse of winning an event and being bad at the next event. They did run it really close to BDS, but of course they lost. And then in the lower bracket, they've been making the run, but these aren't the most impressive teams to have eliminated in the world. Cyclops, Oxygen, Raza, good teams in their own right. Obviously, there's a reason they got to that point in the bracket, but I don't think they really hold a candle up against the likes of FaZe, Furia, and BDS, some of the absolute, and I guess at this point, just the absolute best teams in the world. So going to be a tough one for Unwanted, but just like I did with Space Station, sort of foolishly twice, I'm going to predict Unwanted, even though I feel like they are not super likely to, I don't know, they have a good chance. I wouldn't say it's like 10 to 90. It's maybe like 40-60 or something in favor of FaZe. Is this going to be another one that flips like some other ones we've been seeing at this event, like FaZe versus Space Station? FaZe lost the first one, and then they just eliminated Space Station here, like W7M versus Virtus Pro from last event to this one, etc. A lot of times matches end up flipping the next time. Of course, this matchup hasn't happened in 9 months, which is a little while ago, but at least it was this year. It is 8 of the same players, 5 on FaZe, 3 on Unwanted, but again, I'm going with Unwanted. So that sets up a Furia versus Unwanted, and if you vote the other way, this is just going to change, of course. So I vote for Unwanted, and that sets up Furia versus Unwanted, and perhaps this is even more of an underdog pick, depending on your assessment, but I'm voting Unwanted in both of them. I'll be watching both these games, and I'll be a lot less excited to watch the second one if Unwanted do lose the first one. It'll be sad to have no more NA teams in the event. It is nice that BDS won here because that does guarantee 2 different regions in the grand final. We're going to see either Europe versus Brazil or Europe versus North America, which is nice. And BDS actually has been in 4 grand finals in a row: Manchester, Esports World Cup, Montreal, and now here at SI. Only one of them, but they have the opportunity to make it 2 here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Unwanted over FaZe, Unwanted over Furia. I know it sounds unlikely, but honestly, no, I don't think very few people at all thought that Unwanted would be making it to top 4 of SI with the likes of these 3 teams over every other North American team. So okay, those are my predictions. Be sure to get yours in. Once you put them in, make sure you hit save if it's the first time. I hit edit and then save again, but make sure you hit save, otherwise it's not going to count it. So, okay, that's going to do it for me. Catch you guys next time.